see the pair that got hauled into Tyre?
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Otto.
The realm, as long as you look past the fat storms out mother crystals and her skies are a roiling. He's with your uncle in the Free Cities, helping Mid with her project. Sent an owl their way the moment the winds turned foul. Still waiting on a reply, though.
Do you have any good news?
Well, that depends on your definition of...
All right, fine. What do you suggest?
Oh, no, I'm just a messenger. I leave the scheming to those more... Could be that Lady Vivian and Old Tomes have their own thoughts on the current state of things. Could be that they don't. It certainly can't hurt to ask.
I suppose not.
How is it that every one of your little excursions presages some... Not that you are to blame for the Dominion's fate. No one could have predicted the actions of the Crown Prince.
I'm sorry I couldn't save your home.
My countrymen are stronger than you think. A few toppled clock towers won't break their spirits. They'll be back on their feet in no time.
I hope so.
Look at us. Bluer than a pair of bog crabs. Tempting though it may be, sulking will not help us find a solution to this mess.
You believe there's one to be found?
I don't know. But I am certain we're more likely to find it.
Beneath these darkened skies, fear and confusion reign over Valisthea. Oh, the lands around the fallen Mother Crystals had already begun to wilt for want of ether. But not like this. Crystals that filled wells and fueled furnaces, now nothing but pretty shards of rock. And those that hang from the people's necks cast nary a glimmer of light to keep the dark at bay. It is only a matter of time before the common folk convince themselves that the end of days is upon us. Yet I fear a swift end is more than we can hope for. While most of the world thirsts for ether, the remainder drowns in it, spawning Akashic in droves. And amidst the hordes of mindless beasts, with magics as like to fail as function, even the strongest nation would falter. Rosaria and the Iron Kingdom teeter on the brink of collapse, while the tragedy in Twinside has all but paralyzed the Holy Empire. Dhalmekia fares little better. Rumor has it the ministers fled the capital after the fall of Drake's Fang, leaving their beloved republic to crumble. Waloed, meanwhile, moves in earnest. The Einherjar has been sighted off Storm. The world, in short, is in chaos. It would seem our civilization was nothing but a castle of sand, to be washed away at the whim of the waves.
A castle of sand.
Not my best flourish, but it seemed fitting. The reports I've received are considerably more blunt in their without the protection of their nations, it will fall to the people to defend themselves against those...
Which is only ever going to end.
Defending a farmhouse against a band of chocobo thieves is one thing. But pitchforks and palisades will do little to stall an army should the King of Waloed deign to invade. There would be...
Seems the hideaways.
Is a storm coming soon?
Let me guess.
Is there anything you don't know?
It doesn't take a court astrologer to augur the obvious. As for what has... That, I believe, is a question the Fallen might... And on the 6th day, did the gods... But I dare say you remember your childhood...
You think they're connected? That Ultima was one of the gods responsible?
Well, he has certainly exhibited powers that we mortals would associate with.
There is nothing divine about him.
But he wouldn't be the first god of whom that could be said, now would he? Yet for all the fairy tales that tell of the sins, there is almost nothing in the way of actual... Had I the Journal of Moss the Chronicler, I may have been able to tell you more, but alas, I fear all remaining copies have been lost to time. You will forgive me?
Certainly not. Because there is nothing to forgive. Even without this journal, you've provided us ample wisdom. Perhaps Otto will be more inclined to share his thoughts when he hears what the others had to say.
Clive,
Only one.
it would. Actually, we had as many owls arrive while you were at the shelves. Martha's got a Akashic out her gates and talk of monsters roaming the hills outside of Northreach.
And don't forget Dalimil. Lubor says the village was raided by bandits.
When it rains...
It fucking pours. The curse breakers are spread thin, taking stock of the damage in the Dominion. And even if I could get word to all of them, I doubt they'd get here in time to make any real... Which means...
Jill and I...
Let them know we're on our...
The messages from Martha, Isabel and Lubor weren't long. But what they lacked in detail, they more than made up for in urgency.
The Akashic attacked us out of the blue. And there's no telling when they might be back. You'd best keep that sword handy, Sid.
This man's gonna die if we don't get him to a healer.
Martha.
And you, Clive.
Otto said he'd been attacked by Akashic.
Those skies are what happened. Not long after they fell dark, we had our first... There were hundreds of them. Tried to storm the Hell. Only a handful made it up here. The rest are still down there now. And while we have a few willing fighters holding them back, they're...
What do you think?
That we join them.
I thought you'd know. Where I need you is the Fallen Gate. That's where let the men know you come to help. Something tells me that...
We're on our way.
If they ain't...
Do you think there are as many as Martha says?
More.
You don't think they've abandoned us, do you?
Come on.
Clive, wounded.
We deal with the Akashic first.
These men don't have the look of hired swords.
If you've come to rob this place.
You are mistaken, my lord. We're here by Madame Martha's
How do you know my name?
Forgive me, my lord. There wasn't time for introductions.
Wade's men? Where is your commander?
Sir Wade left earlier with a scouting party to find out where the Akashic...
Did he? Take your wounded back to the... Martha will see you're looked after.
And to think you took them for thieves. A fine reward for holding off the horde, that is.
When did Wade and his men arrive?
Not long after Rosalith fell. The Guardians asked me to shelter some of them that had lost their homes. They were making ready to leave just as the skies turned, and we agreed it was best we stuck together.
Martha! Trouble! The scouting party's almost at the lift, but they got a pack of Akashic snapping at their heels! And they got wounded with them! They're not gonna make it!
Damn it all.
We'll worry about them, Martha.
You look after everyone here. If any can still fight, send them to the lift.
I will. You two be safe now. The lift can only carry a few at a time. If those Akashic get as far as the cliff, wait.
It looked like the Guardians were going as quick as they could, but without the wound. My brothers.
Mad dogs.
Squire, I need you to get those who can still walk up the lift to Martha's. But what about... I didn't ask, Oscar. Sir.
Sir Wade.
Lord Rossfield. If you...
Martha seemed to think you might need... And by the looks of it...
We thought we could sneak, but we didn't know there would be so many.
Behind you!
Damn it! We need to get the injured to safety.
Do you think we can hold them off?
We can certainly try. Are you with us, Sir Wade?
Always.
Then let's do our duty.
Is anyone hurt?
I don't think so.
And yet again, you've pulled me from the flames. It's just a pity I keep walking into them.
You've never been one to shy away from danger, Sir Wade.
I see you're all...
Martha!
Is something wrong?
The lookout saw smoke coming from down East Pool way.
A second...
Feel like finish.
Always.
Jill and I will make... You'll need to move the injured without...
Don't you worry about them.
The moment my men are safe, I'll follow.
Just patch me up as quick as you...
That's better.
They're headed for the rest.
We have to slow them down. Martha and the others won't be ready.
Something's coming.
Apologies, my lord. Did I miss anything?
Only the first round, so wait. Shall we? Do you see any more?
No. I think that was the last of them.
But it won't be long before...
Then we make for Martha's, well...
What did you find out there?
The same as Sir Wade. Scores of it.
Well, wherever they came from, they're gone now. Or hopefully we'll have enough time to lick our...
How many of your men were in?
A damn sight less than if you hadn't turned...
It was a hard-fought victory. But as long as the skies remain dark, I fear the Akashic's numbers are only... It's not a matter of if the Horde will be back, but when. And the inn here affords a good view of the land, and is easily defendable. I'd like...
What do you say, Martha?
Well, when you put it like...
My lord, there's someone I'd like you to meet. Oscar? It is an honor to...
I am Oscar.
Murdoch.
Oh, he didn't. But his brother, my father, did. I am Sir Rodney's nephew.
Well, go on, then. It's not for me. Yes. If it please you...
My Lord Marquis, I would learn the duties of a shield from the...
But I am a shield no longer. And spending time in the company of an outlaw hardly seems a fitting education.
My Aunt Hannah once told me that a man is not defined by his... You have accomplished much since taking on the mantle of Cid, winning no little... And I would sooner serve under an honorable outlaw than... Not that Sir Wade and the other Guardians are... I mean to say that... they're...
It's all right. We know what... There is only so much the boy can learn from me, my...
But a squire...
Would that really be so bad? You were a squire once. And I'm certain Sir Rodney would approve.
I would not have it any other... I will not let you down, Lord Rosfield.
We shall be staying here for the time being, and...
Careful!
That's better. Darkness was again, but not for long. No more vengeance. No more war.
Poor bastard. Couldn't run because of the weight of his load. Still, better a branded than one of us.
Cid! Your new companion appears much more formidable than your uncle. Should I be worried?
You haven't been introduced.
Jill, Clive has told me much about you.
All lies, I'm sure.
Your Stolas said that Dalimil has a bandit problem.
Indeed. Although, you're a little late. They left with our food and...
Any idea where they went?
The desert's a big place. Your guess is as good as mine. But the fact is, I have more immediate concerns.
What did you say to me? What did you say?
Ah, as if by magic. Let's just say we've yet to reach a consensus about how to solve Dalimil's little... And at this rate, it won't be the actions of the bandits which prove to be our undoing. I've tried reasoning with the dissenting parties, but even the Desert Hare has limits.
Perhaps we could talk to them.
What makes you think they'll listen to us?
What makes you think they won't?
She makes a fair point, Cid. And you won't have wasted much of your precious time if you fail. They're just across the courtyard.
Suppose we just follow the shouting.
You wouldn't talk like that if it had been your men whose throats were slit. Blood for blood. We hire mercenaries and have them mount the bandits' heads on our walls as a lesson to the rest.
And what happens when those mercenaries are slaughtered like your men? Are you going to hire more? We're better off using that coin to buy food and supplies. If we hire mercenaries, the only thing we're buying is the bandits' ire. And you cannot fill empty bellies with that. Do you hear me?
But what happens when they come back? Maybe it'll be your throat that's slit.
That's enough. Both of you. Any more of this and I'll throw you out myself. Come back when you're ready to talk like adults.
Victor. What's he doing here?
Cid. And Lady Jill. What brings you in?
I was about to ask.
Costness is in chaos. The Briar's Kiss here in Dalimil. I was here to do just that when Master Lubor told me of his troubles. He thought I might be able to talk some sense into these fools. But if you're here, I suppose his patience must be waning.
Who are those people?
Those were the thorns in Lubor's side. And the reason this place might be headed the same way as Costner's. It's these accursed skies. The darkness is enough to drive a man to madness. Or an entire city, for that matter.
We're still working on the skies. But in the meantime, perhaps we can find a solution to Dalimil's problems.
I hope so. For all our sakes.
So? What I saw was a room full of people who were angry and afraid, but have left to smolder. That...
My thoughts... both sides wish to protect their homes and livelihoods, if only they could agree on how. But as long as they are divided, we are vulnerable.
And if there's one thing bandits like...
What would Cid the...
Well... He'd let them choose for themselves. And be on hand to pick up the pieces when it all went.
That sounds like a recipe.
A recipe for disaster is precisely what it is. But while it's plain neither Conrad nor Natalie will countenance the other's proposal, it may still be possible to make... before presenting them with a third option.
And that would be?
To pool our resources and save the city ourselves.
When all that fear and anger can be directed.
It appears we have a plan of action. Victor, pay Conrad a visit. See if you can't convince him of his folly. I'll speak with Natalie.
As you wish.
Your faces are not well known. Don't worry, Victor and I will do most of the talking.
Play along.
What he means to...
Picture it, Conrad. Your own... Ah, here she is. The Lady of the Conrad. May I introduce you to Jane, Commander of the Red...
A pleasure, my lady.
The pleasure is all mine.
As I told you, I summoned the commander here from Canberra to inquire about a contract.
Victor says you told him no. That there aren't any men left to hire. Is that true?
True as the crystals cracked. Nobles came and claimed every last one worth his salt. And not just from us Red Wings. You know of the 7 high houses. There must be 200 swords assigned each one. Granted, we have a few boys left. If it's boys you're looking for.
Well, Conrad, are you saying that Dalimil's finest cannot defend this town better than a gaggle of unblooded striplings? That a band of beardless youths could better avenge the deaths of your brave men than you yourselves?
Absolutely not. We'll show those bastards who they're dealing with.
I can't believe that actually worked.
Conrad's not what you call the brightest candle in the crypt. And there's a reason why I had you do the talking and not Cid. Well played, my lady.
My shop.
If I had my pickaxe, I would...
I mean, it may still be possible to buy something, and we may yet be allowed to keep it.
Yes, but...
Tahiri, Natalie, allow me to introduce Lord Underhill of Randalar's prestigious League of Merchants.
Underhill?
I was just telling the good lady of our conversation, my lord, and how you were lamenting...
Lubor says that not only are the granaries almost empty, but that war and the Blight mean this season's harvest won't be enough to fill them for winter.
Indeed, certainly that is the case. The nobles in the capital are buying up the city's stocks of barley and wine, driving the prices higher than most commoners can afford. It is only a matter of time before the peasants revolt.
It is worse than I thought. If what Lord Underhill says is true, I fear we have little hope of supplementing our stores, meager though they regrettably are. And while I applaud your endeavors to dissuade our more bellicose citizens from seeking vengeance, I sense Conrad is not wrong in his assessment of the bandits' likely return. Which means that now, more than ever, we will need to... If our humble town is to endure not only this hardship, but those that are certain to follow.
All right. But you needn't have gone through this charade.
Thank you, Clive. Your performance...
She saw right through it.
I didn't say it was good. Merely that it produced the desired effect. Now, my scouts should be returning shortly. Meet me back at the Briar's Kiss, and we...
I'm not convinced our roles in this ruse were entirely necessary.
I don't know. Conrad seemed quite taken with you.
Mummy, I'm scared.
Oh, I'm ruined.
Good news. Both Conrad and Natalie have somewhat with time.
Time no longer appears to...
I take it yours.
Technically, it would be the bandits who found my scouts. It all...
You're not sick.
They don't just want food, they want the whole...
I have a favor. I'm told the bandits march in 2 groups. One from the south and one from the desert. In a move, doubtless, intended to stretch our already gossip...
Very well. Jill and I will meet those from the desert.
The rest, my friend, the stakes I concede are high. But if this does not unite Dalimil, nothing.
That is a lot of faith to put into those who had their hands around each other's...
Then it will be for us to see that their hands are kept off.
I thought you might say that.
We'll hold them off for as long...
And we will...
No women folk have come to us.
I'll take that one.
He's all yours.
The women folk have come to welcome us.
I'll take that one.
He's all yours. They mean to overwhelm us.
The townspeople. Could they have held out?
I don't hear any fighting. What do you think?
That we should hurry.
Natalie, you did well out there. The inn would have been locked.
Without you, there would have been no line. You saved us, Conrad.
We all saved.
Conrad seems to have had a change of...
I'd say they both have.
I take it from your presence that
The plan worked, Cid. Granted, it only took...
Calm now, Victor. Why quibble? We are united. As for you, Cid...
I'll take that as a... Mistakes. Surrounded. This won't be easy.
back to the stables, girl.
Forsaken soul, eh? Only those who have nothing. Go into your pockets.
A deserter turned outlaw. We were more similar than he knew. First we find Isabel.
Heard a bloke saying he saw ghosts on the far side of the...
I saw it with my own eyes.
I can't do it.
My lord. Milady.
We received the dame's message. There have been sightings of strange creatures and...
With the blue eyes. Yes, they've taken so many. I've lost...
Akashic.
And what of your mistress? Is she here?
Oh, no. She went to the garrison to ask what they were planning on doing.
Then we'll look for her there.
We've seen little and less of the soldiers of late. Anyone would think they were hiding. We could leave. The 2 soldiers were carrying another.
It's all right.
Don't leave me.
Give me your arm.
Madame, please!
Half the garrison's been slaughtered by those things.
We've tried requesting reinforcements, but there's been no word. What more would you have?
I would have you do your duty. Those at the Vale look to me for protection, and protect them I shall. Because they are my children. In case you have forgotten, the people of this town, but more than that, they are your sisters. So you have a choice. Lay down your sword and watch.
She speaks the truth, this here. It's all we have. It's all that's left.
What we have left is our lives!
Not if we don't have to. Look, there's a cask under the captain's bunk. Let's talk. I'll have a word with him.
Ah, Clive. I didn't expect help to arrive so quickly. And
It was a noble, but I thought you might still need some support.
I'd like you to what we need to consider is where the creatures came from. The way the survivors speak of them, one would think they appeared out of thin air. And perhaps they did. It's hard to know what to believe these days. I can't entirely blame the men of the garrison for losing heart. And they have provided a place for the injured. I can't entirely blame the men of the garrison for losing heart.
You're a pikeman, yes?
I've got family in Moor. I heard the flood was spreading, so I went in the back of them glowing things found me in the meadow.
Leave that to her.
But my family...
With no one to defend the place.
They're still in the capital.
It's all right. Give me your arm.
Did you see the creatures that...
Creatures? They came out of nowhere. They went for Joseph first, then me.
Do you remember where...
On the road from Oriflamme.
It's all right. At least we have an idea of where the thralls might be now. We should head for more.
That thing... It took off the...
Come on.
Yeah!
Look!
I see them. With me!
Should I prime?
Save your strength.
It's over.
Do you think there are...
There are always more. But I'd... You have the town?
Don't thank us yet. There will be more.
Oh, we shall. Isn't that right?
Yes, milady.
Philippe here has convinced most of the men to remain at their post.
Hearing that the Dane would look kindly on any man who committed himself to the tasks, it's not the most selfless of motives, I'll admit. What Now me, I never needed convincing. I became a soldier to protect the people, and the people I love, include the ones standing before me.
Handsome and chivalrous.
Now, if you don't mind, I have sentries to post. Milady.
Lest you wonder, I'm not foolish enough to believe that this has solved all of my problems. But it has solved one, and that's one fewer than I had this morning. Thank you again.
Our friends seem to have things under control. For now, at least. Let's go and put Otto's mind at rest.
Philippe will make a good captain. He reminds me a little of you, Clive. But without all the mocks and mows.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Was wondering when you took arrows from all our friends thanking. How is it you always manage to arrive at...
Luck, I suppose. Any word of...
let's see. Storm's still crying out for Mother Crystals. The nations are still in chaos. And the skies are still the colour of a kick in the kidneys 2 days on. So...
Right.
Clive, we knew this was going to happen. Well, not the bleeding skies part. Now's not the time to... Now's the time to visit the infirmary.
Thank you, Otto.
So it was not Sylvester, but Olivier who served as Ultima's puppet. And when Dion learned of this, he sought to slay the fiend. Only for his father to take the spear that would have freed him. Enough to drive a man to madness.
Small wonder he hasn't stirred. I would be afraid to wake.
Had I but reached out to him sooner, warned him of the threat Ultima posed. But now, both an empire and her prince lie broken.
Joshua, what do you know of Ultima?
Very little, I'm afraid. Despite my best efforts. 18 years ago, as I lay buried beneath the rubble of Phoenix Gate, 'twas not death who came for me, but another. And it was while in my rescuer's care, I first heard of Ultima. I've been chasing his shadow ever since. Ultima is driven by some deep, dark purpose, and for whatever reason, it would seem you are crucial to his designs. He will stop at nothing to have you, even if that means toppling an empire.
But why me? What possible use could I be to such a creature?
That is one of many answers that have eluded me. Yet, I am certain of this. It is not mere chance. You were chosen for a reason. All dominants carry within them the might of an icon. Nigh limitless power that is at once acutely limited. I wield fire, and only fire.
And I only ice. 8 wardens for 8 elements. But you, Clive.
You are different. You're special. Your abilities begin with the flames of Ifrit. But they do not end there. The fact Ifrit can even exist goes against everything we thought we knew of dominance. Perhaps Ultima has been waiting for one such as you, whose potential is truly limitless.
I've encountered that thing several times now. If it or he, as you say, needs me, why hasn't he claimed me as he did the boy?
Were I to hazard a guess, I'd say the two of you are somehow incompatible. His mind not properly attuned to your body.
His mind?
Mind, awareness, spirit, call it what you wish. But I believe Ultima to be an embodiment of the concept. This is why I struggle and fail to contain him here inside me.
I'm sorry. Inside you?
With every setting sun, I feel my strength wane. And though the Phoenix's flames mend the prison I have made for Ultima, they do so at a cost. We must find a means to bring an end to him before I meet my own.
What were you thinking?
It was that or let him take Clive. And I've always had a soft spot for my brother.
But that doesn't mean you should sacrifice yourself to save me.
Joshua. Clive, it's Gav. There's an army of Akashic at the gates of Canver.
Well, what's the short of it?
It's all Tyre told you. The capital of the Free Cities is under siege by an army of monstrosities. The City Guard are doing their best to stem the tide, but numbers ain't on their side.
What of Lord Byron and Mid? Were they able to escape?
No, but they're all right for now. They're hiding with Gav at midship.
We have to get them out of there.
And we shall. Otto, prepare a Stolas. Tell Gav to stay exactly where he is.
Understood.
Vivian, what's the swiftest route to the Free Cities?
That sounds like a question for the map. Look here. This road, through Tabor, should provide the least trouble.
Good.
What a coincidence. Tabor is exactly where I'm bound.
Joshua, bed is where you should be bound.
You don't think I told him the exact same thing?
Were Tyr not such a talented healer, I would surely have been inclined to agree. But, thanks to her ministrations, I feel I may safely rejoin my attendant, who was to wait for me in Tabor if we became separated.
All right, we travel together.
Clive.
If he stays close to me, he'll be fine.
Thank you, brother.
I'll look after him.
My attendant was with me in the Dominion before I primed. She would have watched the battle unfold and witnessed its outcome. I trust you'll be waiting for me in Tabor, where I can finally introduce you. My attendant was with me in the Dominion before I primed. She would have watched the battle unfold and witnessed its outcome. I trust you'll be waiting for me in Tabor, where I can finally introduce you.
Tyr's right. Your brother is in no condition to travel. That's all I'll say on the matter. It's mid...
You know how I feel about this. But your brother's stubbornness knows no bounds. I'm starting to think it runs in the family.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Your benefactors are a generous lot. Here you are. All yours. Best of luck out there, Sid. There's a storm coming, Sid. Will there be...
Sid, perhaps you can...
I can certainly try.
It's not who, but what. Mid's scales, the ones she made for her workshop. I borrowed them to teach the little ones about weight, and shortly after the lesson, they vanished. My first thought was that they'd taken them off somewhere to play, but when I asked, they swore they had nothing to do with their having disappeared. Which almost certainly means they had everything to do with it.
Perhaps a visit from...
I don't like to imagine that my pupils would lie to me. But if they have, I'll have no... They were in the atrium when I last saw them. As always.
Seems the hideaway is...
Oh, that blasted book!
You put me in this situation, Clive. You can bloody well get me out of it.
Are you sure it's me you're looking for?
I'm all the cook will be needing, thank you very much. What I want from you is a little of your time, right? You remember Ivan's stew? So I thought I'd try making one of these supposed masterpieces myself.
It wasn't as straightforward as you'd hoped?
Yeah, but this is my blooming kitchen, and I will not be outdone. So if you don't want to be seen as playing favourites, I suggest you...
I've never been one to play favourites, Molly. and I would be so.
A fried mortress of sky recipe seemed easy enough to an old hand like myself. Only, turns out skyworm livers and drake's mint are not what I thought they were. At least I hope they're not, given the rancid mess they made.
Yvonne said the recipes in the culinary pilgrimage date back centuries. Who's to say the ingredients even exist anymore?
Well, that's a question for a scholar, wouldn't you say? Kindly old fella who haunts the shelves, maybe?
Fine. I'll go and speak to Harpocrates. Perhaps and if he does, I'll see if I can find your ingredients for you.
You do that. Lest we forget, you've got a reputation to uphold.
Lawsman Harpocrates. I've come to pick your brain if you don't mind. It's about the book you lent Yvonne.
Ah, Valisthea, a culinary pilgrimage, a classic. The young man did a wonderful job with the Chance's stew. I do hope we shall be able to sample more such marvels in due course.
That's actually why I'm here. I don't suppose you know where I might find skyworm livers and drake's mint.
Ah, so the fabled Sanbrequois delicacy is next on the menu. Delightful. The descriptions of fried mortress never fail to make my mouth water. Now, skyworm is a somewhat antiquated name for the wyvern, their ground livers being the paste from which the mortress is made.
Dragon livers. How very Sanbrequois.
One would have thought the disciples of Bahamut would have a touch more reverence for their icon's brethren, but apparently not. I believe the specific dragon the recipe demands is the blueback wyvern, said to be the very color of the sea beside which it resides.
So we know where to look for our liver.
Saint's bonnet in contemporary parlance, a herb which grows along the North Reach coast. I gather that one can locate the cheerful yellow flowers by their heady scent alone, so I'm sure you'll have no trouble. I may add that people once believed game was best served with the flora that sustained it in life, in which regard fried mortress of skyworm is undoubtedly a typical dish of the time.
Meaning that if I find one, I find the other. To Northreach.
Best of luck, Clark, and do save me a bite once the dish is complete.
Seems the hideaway's lost its appetite. Can you blame them, with the skies as they are?
Did you see the pair that got hauled into tires?
Aye. All their fancy silks stained red.
Rutherford. Wasn't that the name of my uncle's manservant? Why would he be at Martha's Rest?
What do you want? No scratches, right? And?
Oh my God.
Is everything all right? You seem more...
Oh, I don't know what that means, but I'm in a bit... Oh, I think Nan might be in trouble and...
It's all right.
There was a trader came by. One folk saying she's been selling to bandits and cutthroats and that. I mean, she's fond of a chance, but she'd never do business with baddies. Especially not the kind who go hurting people who... I wanted to ask her about it myself, but... I'm scared she'd never give your tongue a lashing, though, would she?
Don't worry.
Oh, you'll let me know what...
Of course. Lady Karen.
Not Neil.
You're doing good trade, then?
What exactly? Not once in 5 long years do you pay my affairs half a care. But here you are today,
Just... all right.
Oh, are you? And who was it who knows me so well as to tell tales of...
All I know is that someone in Dalimil has been spreading word.
And what? You believe it? Look, I've done things I'm not proud of, but that woman is no more. And you?
You're right, Lady Karen. It was wrong of me to doubt you.
No. I reckon you've got...
Of course. I spoke with that the rumors were unfounded, and that I was, along with some other things, that... And while it sounds like she may have done things she regretted...
Oh, I knew Nan wasn't caught up. But why would people say she was? What did she ever do to them? It's not right.
No, it's not. But people do things for all sorts of reasons. Perhaps we'll never know.
Well, I'm going to find out. That trader, he said they were all talking about her in Dalim, so that's where I'm going. I'll find someone else.
Are you sure that's wise? Whoever's spreading...
Oh, but that's why... I'll find out who's been making up lies about who and Anne.
I heard the Emperor was impaled.
We're all gonna die! You hear me?
What do you reckon we should do? I say we should just tell Miss Shirley.
You'll get us all straight. I'm telling you, I can fix them.
Sid! Hard at your studies, I see. It's not a set of scales, is it?
No. Of course it isn't.
Well, not anymore, it's not. Oh!
And just how long hasn't it been?
We're sorry.
But we didn't break them. We just
dismembered them.
Just like Miss Mididol showed us.
Miss Mididol? Why would she have you dismembering her creations?
Because that's the only way. To become a ninja-neer.
Miss Middledore said, the best way to see how something works is to take it apart and put it back together again.
Well, then your work is already half done. Carry on.
About that.
The taking apart was easy enough, but it's the putting back we can't work out.
Speak for yourself. The heavy thing goes at the bottom. Then...
You three need to learn to take responsibility for your actions. So let's have a look at these parts with fresh eyes, shall we? All right. Everything here was once part of Miss Middledor's scales. Every piece has its own role to play, and each is just as important as the others. If even one of them is missing, the scales won't work. So let's think about what those roles might be. You already know one of the pieces. The body. Its role is to support everything else. But what of the others? This is called the arm. Why do you suppose that is? It doesn't look much like an arm.
You're right. It looks more like a wing. Like a chocobo wing!
You've ridden a chocobo before, haven't you, Sid? Will you teach me to ride one day?
I'll think about it. Now, what do arms do?
Hold things. So wait, maybe this arm holds things too?
Good thinking. You're on the right track. These round parts are called the pans. You all know what a pan is, don't you?
I do. Molly uses them in the kitchens to fry bangers. But these aren't for frying bangers, you idiot. They're for weighing stuff. But what if I wanted to weigh Goots? I don't think he'd fit on that little thing.
Probably not.
What are the chains for?
Well spotted. Which means something must hold the chains up in turn. This tiny piece is what
I have.
She puts them in all her inventions.
That's right.
I remember the arm move.
Not my fault.
You know what parts, though? Let's put the...
Not a bad idea. So, now that we've taken stock of the parts and learned what they...
I think we've got...
Then here's what we'll do. You tell me what goes where, and I'll put the scales together.
Well, obviously you need to start with the body. All the other pieces fit onto it, don't they?
And the arms go on the body, just like real arms. Or wings, if you're a chocobo. And then the arms hold the pans by the chains.
Very good. Let's see if that works. There. All finished.
Yes! We did it!
Well, with Sid's help.
Oh, I just put the pieces together. It was you three engineers who showed me how.
That's right. We're Miss Middledor's hares.
Her hares?
Yeah. Hares for the future. She's showing us her secrets now, so we can help out the hideaway when we're older.
What do you think, Sid?
With a little more help from Miss Middledore and Miss Shirley.
You hear that? It won't be long.
Until then, though, do try to be honest with me.
Hey, look! We never used the cogwheel.
You don't think Sid forgot about it, do you? Didn't happen to forget anything, did you, Sid? Didn't happen to forget anything, did you, Sid?
see that? Tell me you saw that.
Oh, the moon.
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be...
Well, did you solve the mystery?
It was as you thought. The children had they dismantled them to see how they work.
Oh, no.
Thankfully, she won't. This might even have been... Although I was the one who ended up teaching...
I'm so sorry, Sid. I shall see that the children...
Please, there's no need. She'd have them follow in her footsteps. And her father's.
I see. Sid, do you know why Mid has been spending so much time at the Hideaway of late?
She told me it was because her studies have been interrupted by events in Canva. Is that not true?
No, it isn't. The university offered her a commission. In exchange for full tuition, room and board, they asked her to oversee the design of several new war engines. To anyone else it would be an opportunity, but to Mid, who lost both her parents to war, it was a bitter pill. One she was none too keen to swallow. But that should come as no surprise. She's only ever cared about bringing people hope. The very last thing war can be said to do.
Which explains her heirs. She's working to give them a better life.
Ah, you've given them far more than that. If Mid is teaching my pupils her secrets,
It's like a dream. The four of us out walking like we used to.
Enjoying this, are you? Gav and the others could be in danger as we speak.
You're right. I'm sorry. Yote is a fine scout. If Canva was attacked, she will already have begun gathering information.
Tabor isn't far. We should pick up the pace.
When did you get so big? Run like the wind. We can use the ruins to cross the ravine.
Assuming they will allow it. The Echoes have a will of their own.
Tell us about Yote, Joshua.
She's strong-willed, loyal, and deadly with a blade. Much like Clive, but with better manners.
You're injured. What happened here? Where are your comrades?
Ether flood. Up ahead. It swallowed our camp. While my own men did this. There's a village not far from here. It's own... We can't...
I'll go. Rest well, soldier. You said the encampment was close. Let's hope the Akashic are still there.
Ready, go?
Another ether flood. They're everywhere now.
We can't go around it.
Then we'll just have to be careful.
Right. I got here in time.
Arise!
Someone there! Please! I can't move my leg!
That doesn't sound like an Akashic. You're with the battalion?
I am.
Taken care of. One of your brothers in arms told me what happened and all.
Another survivor.
His wound.
He was right to send you. Tabor is safe thanks to you. You seem familiar. Have we met?
You must have me confused with someone else.
Wait. That scar.
Son of a whore. You're Cid. I was there, in Cosnes, when you killed my brothers. I was there in Rosalith, when you killed my commander!
My war with Hugo Kupka is over. I bear no ill will toward those who followed him.
And what of my ill will? Coward! Draw your steel. Lord Kupka shall be avenged!
When your wounds have healed and your head has cooled, come and find me if you must. Though I hazard your life would be better spent in service of those who need it. Or have you forgotten your oath to the Republic?
My oath?
I know how hard they are to keep. Which is why I'm giving you the chance to keep yours.
No. I won't be deceived. Lord Kupka told us of your crimes. You are an outlaw. A murderer, not some
man. Like you or anyone else.
I am nothing like you. Just know that I will find you, Cid. Someday.
You will regret. Cid, I will avenge my master.
Come on. Run like the wind. Have you been to Tabor before?
There are a few places I haven't.
That'll do, girl.
Welcome, travelers. We don't get many visitors here in Tabor.
Where now, Joshua?
There is a residence just inside the city gates. She awaits us within.
What brings you to our humble village, young man? It's our artisans you're here to see.
Welcome, welcome. Come again.
The bandits may be.
It shouldn't be too hard to find goods.
The gentlemen of the town guard.
Could be I know something more. What's it worth to you?
I've got 100 gil and a chocobo feather. Clive, listen! I found someone who says he's heard the rumours about...
Have you?
Go on. Tell him what you told me.
All right. It's like I said. A wizened old crone by the name of Karen's been selling steel to whoever'll pay her price, be they knight or knave. Says the more swords and spears she puts in people's hands, the more war they'll wage. And the more war being waged, the more call for swords. And who will they all turn to? Why, the good Reaper.
And you've seen this Reaper at work?
Aye, just so. You'll find her right here plying her trade most days.
Here in Dalimil? Where exactly?
She has a stall here in the market, but if you're not the patient type, you can probably find her at her storehouse on the edge of town. But it'd be a bolder man than me that braved that particular nest of Feeling bold, traveler? Now, if that's all...
Sorry to have kept...
You don't think Nan's the
Not unless she's discovered the secret of how to be in two places at once.
Eh?
Lady Karen hasn't left the hideaway in weeks. So who has...
Good question.
And I'll visit this storehouse on the edge of...
All right, but...
You too, Goots.
You fought very bravely.
The safety of the town is in our hands now.
Come on.
Yeah!
Time to brave the Viper's Nest.
Just you, is it? Thought I might have laid it on a bit thick.
It was a fairly unconvincing tale. So, what now?
That's up to you. Die a slow death, or a quick one. Boys, he's all yours. But that sword is mine.
Leave now and we can pretend this didn't happen.
done it now.
Go on. Tell me what I've done.
When the Borgwyn finds out you've killed his men, he'll have your head. He only wanted that bull of a manservant, the dim one always clinging to Karen's skirts. You weren't even supposed to be here. Who the hell—
What were you going to do to...
The Borgwyn wanted him to get to Karen. I was only supposed to point the lamp in the right direction once he arrived in Dalimil. But then you turned up, well... Go...
You're not worth the effort. I need to find Goetz. Right now.
Get your filthy paws off me, you naughty painted lout!
Stop calling me names! And stop spreading them horrible...
Well, that will be easy enough. For they are not lies. Every last...
Goose.
He's gonna kill... He said she had to pay him...
After what she did, it is only right. That loathsome harpy's very existence is a crime. Goetz, was it? Only with you. Run along now.
No.
No?
I don't care what she did. Promise me you won't, or I'll...
Goetz, no.
Enough, all of you!
Karen. But how did you...
You're a sight less clever than you think you are, the pair of you. Did you think I wouldn't notice the two of you slinking off together? Well, the whole thing got me thinking, who in Dalimil might bear me a grudge? And a certain snivelling shit I ran afoul of in my fairy years came to mind. Though it was just Bogan back then, wasn't it? I thought the years might have taught you some sense. But I see you the same. What was it we called you? Wet legs.
You bitch! Everything that happened, it was all your fault! And now you'll finally pay for what you did to me!
Goose, you...
If you want a piece of Nan, you'll have to go through me.
Fuck!
You great galoot. Out of the way, I can handle this myself. So, wet legs, you remember what you told me when we last met? An eye for an eye. Wise words, Sam. Wise words. And now, it's time to collect. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Is he...
Dead? No. It isn't easy going through life one eye short of a pair. After all, I should...
You don't mean...
Oh, don't tell me you lost it to old Wet Legs back when we were working the same routes. Said I'd stolen from his strongbox. I'd done nothing of the sort, mind. But that didn't stop him taking his little... So I took some of my own. Sorry, lost everything. His coin, his clients. Always knew he'd be back one day but he crossed a line dragging poor Goetz into... It didn't hurt you, did it?
No, Nan. Still got all my arms, see? Legs, but... What if...
What if he does? Let's we take the other eye, then we work our way down. He'll learn it. But something tells me the wet... Right. Let's get you back to the hideaway. You've attracted quite enough...
Remind me never to cross you, Karen.
Martha's got a big heart. It's a pity there's so many who are happy to take advantage of it.
The fates seem bent on driving me from my inn. If they want...
Sorry, but if you're looking for a bed, there's none to be had right now. We're already sharing our cots with masterless.
My lord Marquis, is that... It is you. I am Sebastian Rutherford.
Of course.
Yes, my lord. Thank you for coming.
And what was so sensitive that you couldn't put it in...
1,000 apologies, my lord.
It's all right. Continue.
I am here at Martha, tasked with learning what I am able of, and what I have learned is grim. The fall of the Mother Crit, the subsequent darkening of the heaven, the gears of governance have ground to a... The realm threatens to drift into... Your lord uncle, however, believes there is a way to avoid this fate, and is determined to see it set in motion.
That sounds like quite the undertaking.
It is. Hence my having enlisted the aid of several colleagues serving the 7 high houses. Alas, I have lost contact with 2 of those colleagues already. They are both able-bodied and trained in the sword, yet in these dark times even that may not prove sufficient.
So you want me to... I'll need to know...
One I sent...
That doesn't exactly narrow it down.
Thank you, my lord. My associate in Dhalmekia would have had to pass through the Republic's checkpoint.
It's not going to be easy finding one man in an entire republic. Let's hope someone here's seen something.
Mummy?
The gentleman of the town guard.
Run like the wind. Someone's got himself in trouble.
I don't see your master here, so you can start by giving us all the coppers in your purse.
I already told you,
And maybe we'll take that pretty outfit and the steel you're wearing.
Please!
I'll deal with this.
Thank...
You that one's... If you'd kindly pay the coinios.
Or you can go back to your garrison and I won't report you.
Oh, you're more than one. He hasn't had many visitors since we slipped.
Stay down!
I'd expect as much.
Much has changed in the Republic.
You've seen this kind of thing before, then?
Many times.
You're one of Rutherford. You sent me to...
Well, then you have my thanks. I fancy I could defend myself against one, perhaps two, but a whole regiment.
I arrived in Dalimil several days ago, but when I called upon the captain of the local garrison to make inquiries, his men confiscated my effects and locked me in a cell.
The captain is no more, and his men make the rules now.
Fortunately, I was able to bribe my way free, only to be stopped again by those soldiers you so kindly dispatched.
What of the Fist's Central Command? Surely they wouldn't allow such lawlessness amongst their ranks.
I would imagine they are unaware of it. Most of the army has fallen back to the capital and hunkered down behind her walls. Those who weren't recalled now rule the fringes unchecked, answering to no one but themselves.
Then it's worse than we imagined. You should return to Rosaria. It's not safe here.
I'll find a caravan heading north. You won't mind if I borrow one of these soldiers' coin purses?
Not at all. Now, to find it, if he was bound for Oriflamme, I'll start at Northreach. There's a lot of road between here and the capital. Rutherford's man could be anywhere. Good girl.
Safe.
What happened here?
If you're with the others, they've already relieved me of my belongings.
I'm not. I'm looking for someone who was sent here by a man named Rutherford.
And then you found him. I'm Alistair Rockford, attendant to the Lady Ariane of House Wellesley.
Of the 7 high houses of Rosaria. It's been a long time since last I saw my great-aunt. Is she well?
My Lord Marquis? Yes. Yes, she is. The Lady Dowager has granted me leave to assist your Uncle Stuart. I was on my way back from the old capital when I saw some villagers being robbed on the road here.
Bandits?
They looked more like field hands, but it didn't matter in the end. I did what I could to help the victims, but all it earned me was a pommel to the temple.
Which way did they go?
South, toward the gate.
All right. Found a note. You head back to Northreach.
Thank you.
They just couldn't resist, could they?
This one's ours, pretty boy.
Garuda! Awaken, wind!
Make for the town while you can.
You don't need to tell me twice.
This looks to be all of them.
I thought I told you to make...
And stand by, as ill might befall.
It's just Clark, which is more than gonna be...
I will survive.
Strange.
The garrison have their hands full inside the city. Some days they don't even send... There are few hands left to work the fields, and even fewer to transport the market stalls are nearly bare, and the price for what remains is exorbitant. It's not uncommon. When I said the ones who attacked me didn't have the look of bandits, I meant it. They were probably just desperate.
Rockford, if you are to continue your investment, you first need to seek...
I shall return to... But allow me to thank you.
Don't thank me.
I suppose he'll be wondering where I shall send a Bastolus as soon as I'm able.
Uncle certainly has his work cut out for him. If it isn't already too late. I should go and tell Rutherford that his colleagues are still in one piece.
There were ghosts at the gates, not days.
You needn't fret. The creatures are...
To the meadows, then.
That's what the captain...
He said I should be able to find what I'm looking for somewhere nearby. Bright blue dragons and bright yellow flowers. Should be easy enough to spot. This must be our wyvern. All right. Let's get this over with. Fire and blow! That's the wyvern's liver. Now I just need to find the herbs. Bright yellow with a heady scent. I think that's everything Molly needs to resurrect her recipe. Better head back.
Martha's got a big heart. It's a pity there's so many around.
I see you're still here.
The Rest's location affords a constant flow of traders, and with it, a constant flow of information. Speaking of which, I received word from both my associates. I
only happen to be in the... They both seem to think...
I am afraid Storm isn't... And...
As it is mine.
Or the moon, for that matter. It seems the hideaway has lost its appetite. Can you blame them, with the skies as they are?
So, did you have that word with Tomes then?
I did, and he was as helpful as ever. He told me exactly where to look, in fact.
And what precisely will I be cooking up? Or is it better not to know?
Blueback wyvern liver. And, a herb known as Saint's Bonnet.
Ah, wyvern livers, was it? Well, at least it weren't actual worms, I suppose. Now then, you stay right where you are. I've got some cooking to do. Let's hope these grand old chefs of yore knew what they were on about. And here we have it. Fried, Ivan's offered to make sure it's fit for consumption. Well, I say offered. He as good as begged.
And rightly so. Is there any higher honor than partaking in a slice of culinary history?
So, not fit for consumption then?
What witchery is this? The crackle of the crust gives way to an almost violent richness. Yet, it is the piquant kiss of the Saint's Bonnet that tames this savage dish. It is a tour de force. A force of nature, even. A maelstrom of flavour and sensation. A graceful beast emerging from centuries of slumber.
I think he likes it.
Well, I can't quite tell with all that nonsense he's talking. But I reckon you might be right. It was decent then, I take it.
Decent? It's remarkable. And I defy any man to say a word to the contrary. Sid, might I suggest that you command a party of your finest men and women to procure a dozen blueback wyverns forthwith?
I'll give it some thought.
Nothing like a dish of cold vengeance to foul the gut.
I'm sorry, Nan. I didn't mean to make things worse. I just thought I had to protect you. Like you've protected me.
Aye, well, someone had to. Your parents certainly didn't give a whit for your well-being. Reckon the both of us would be worse off if I'd not taken you on. You've always been me right eye, Goots. And I'd have you stay that way. So don't you dare go looking for trouble again.
Well, I will. If you ever need help, I'll do it again and again, and you can't stop me.
Why, you big lump. Fine. Play the hero if it makes you happy.
Thanks, Nan. I won't let you down.
There's nothing he wouldn't do for you.
That's as maybe. But if he's ever to make his own way in life, he'll need to start looking out for himself as well. Till then, he'll need people to watch his back, just like you did in Dalamil. Don't think I didn't appreciate that.
Of course. His family.
Stop it. You make me one good eye, mister. I don't go thinking that'll do you any favours. A potion today'll cost you the same as it did yesterday. Let me tell you...
All right.
Them rumours Wetlegs were spreading. Might be they weren't just tales plucked out of thin air. You see, there were some women lust after blood, others after flesh, but me... And to satisfy that lust, I sold to opposing armies, stabbed my every client in the back, made myself the most hated woman in the twins. But then one day... said he'd give me access to a realm-wide community of like-minded individuals in constant need of steel and sundries. On the condition I sold to him and his alone.
Was that the first time you met Sid?
Aye. And I fell right into his damn trap. He was true to his word, so I ended up being true to mine. And I soon started making the best profits I've seen since taking up the trade. And all without aiding or abetting any outlaws. Except Sid himself, that is. Told me about his plan to topple the mother crystals, you know. Said that with them gone, the realm would want for all manner of things. An opportunity for the likes of me to mint Gil. Why, I reckon an enterprising individual could find himself the richest dam in the twins. And that's when he had me. I emptied my stores that day and moved into the Hideaway proper. And the rest, as they say, is ancient bloody history. A dozen years on, and I'm still not the richest dam. Not for lack of trying, mind. But I can say that I have never been happier. You've all shown me there are some things more precious than Gil.
That there are.
So don't you go messing it all up, or you'll have me to answer to. Clive. Coin purse weighing you down? You'll not find a better price than that. You're rubbing me blind, you know. Finished, are you?